As a rippling confection of impulse, I skew all the books, want to version their rotten rigidity, chomping back boredom to make a cool waltz I could swing to. I could be that kind of poet. That's from Nada Gordon, my favorite living poet. I'm no expert in poetry, and I only read English, so I'm in no position to say who is the greatest living poet at this time, but of the poets that I'm aware of, Nada Gordon is the best, in my opinion. I just love her poetry. She's a total badass. She's a true poet. She only writes the poetry she wants to write. She does not give a fuck. She's been in, Japanese American punk bands since the 80s. She's been not giving a fuck for decades and and she's extremely creative. She creates whatever she feels like creating. She's a seamstress who sews these amazing creations. She had a series of cats that I thought was awesome. They're like different patterns, and she makes dresses and all kinds of dolls and decorations and stuff. And yeah, she just doesn't. She's anti bullshit when it comes to creativity in general, but specifically poetry, which I think is her main virtuoso level skill set. She's amazing at several things, but anyway, I just wanted to kick it off with that because I love that that artist statement, if you will. It's a sort of satire of stupid artist statements. She's making a legit artist statement, but yeah. But what I was really thinking about today was the fact that I'm an elder millennial, or so they tell me, and like anyone my age, I grew up on Mystery Science Theater, and thus I'm used to laughing at media in general, whether it's commercials or TV or social media posts or whatever. I'm used to laughing at things for sarcastic, ironic reasons, right? Not the intended reasons that the media is wanting me to laugh at. Anyway, I was thinking of some key examples of that. One that comes to mind immediately is a commercial for a company that's they're targeting elderly people, and they're trying to get the elderly people to pay them to help them choose a new Medicare plan whenever the renewal window comes up. It's just so annoying, especially to elderly people. My father is in his 70s. I don't consider him elderly per se, but he gets targeted with all this bullshit all the time, and it's obnoxious. But there's a commercial that embodies this so extremely that it's hilarious, even though it's wicked. And so the commercial is this. I'll try to summarize it. It's an elderly woman looking at the camera, right? She's staring at you, the viewer, and she's basically saying, hey, I'm perfectly fine with my Medicare plan. I don't want to change things at this point in my life. I prefer not changing. I'm an old woman. I want to live in peace. What you're talking about as far as changing my Medicare plan, it's confusing to me. I don't want to think about it. Leave me alone. You give me this phone number to call. You keep telling me to call it. I'm not going to call it. I'm not going to call it. That's what she's saying in this commercial. And then literally the voice of God, in a theatrical sense, that's literally what occurs. The voice of God appears, or, the theophany manifests. And the voice of God tells her basically, hey, old woman, you're an idiot. Shut the fuck up. Call this number or else. Right? It's literally just pressuring her. And she's like, no. To her credit, even though this is a fictional character, to her credit, her first reaction is, no, I'm not going to call it. Fuck you. And then the voice of God just wears her down throughout the commercial. Basically saying, no, you're going to call this goddamn number. You stupid old woman. I'm going to ruin your life if you don't call this number. Basically. And at the end, she's like, okay, I'll call it. And isn't that not the most evil, manipulative fucking commercial ever made? I can't think of one that's more evil than that. And it's so evil that it's fucking hilarious. I laugh my ass off every time I see it to keep from crying, right? Because it's actually so disturbing. But that got me thinking about all the ways in which marketing ploys fail in general, but specifically have failed in my life to convince me to buy a product. In fact, there are so many marketing ploys that convince me to never buy the product, right? They're so obnoxious, so insulting, that the only result is I hate your company now. Like, I hate your product. And I think, especially for elder millennials and Generation X probably as well, you know, like the generations, maybe Generation Z is also part of this, I would think. But we're so, you know, keen when it comes to dissecting this bullshit, like the ways in which you're trying to manipulate me or everyone, that most marketing for us actually has the opposite effect, the opposite of the intended effect. And the clearest example of this in my life anyway is Nike. Their slogan is "Just Do It." And I fucking hate that so passionately. Even if I didn't know what an exploitive company Nike is, what a dishonest company, you know, all of the child labor exploitation issues, which are obviously like the main reason to not support this company, I guess. But the fact that their slogan is "Just Do It," and the fact that the "Just Do It" mentality, which means what? What does it mean? Stop thinking and just act. Don't think, act. And that mentality is, of course, destroying everything. It's literally like a poison. It's an epidemic of stupidity, of irrationality, that is destroying literally everything, like every aspect of human life at this point. So I've never bought Nikes, and I never will. I'll never buy a Nike product at all. And it's not like some virtue signaling, like, let's boycott Nike or whatever. Like, at this point, everyone should know that Nike sucks. You know, it's not a hot take to say Nike sucks. But it just amazes me that "Just Do It." And what's his name? The actor, I forget his name offhand. I'm trying to remember, but I can't forget it, or I can't remember. And anyway, he had that freak out where he's like, "Just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it." You know, that whole thing. Which is, again, just as fucking stupid as the Nike shit, where as if the problem in everyone's life, like whatever problem you're facing, the implication is that the real problem is that it never occurred to you to just do it. You know, forget all of like the analytical issues that have to do with taking problems seriously and accounting for the relevant variables and factors, you know, the confounding variables that could lead to an irrational conclusion that will lead to bad decisions, that will lead to bad outcomes. You know, forget about stopping to think for a goddamn second about what you're doing. Forget all that. The real problem is that you just need to do it. You know, forget about climate change and degrading the environment. Just do it. Forget about causing a civil war due to, you know, political hysteria and, you know, ideologies that are fundamentally insane running amok in society. Just do it. You know, just do it. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Just do it. That's ridiculous. It's more than ridiculous. It's hateful and stupid and disastrous and so forth. So yeah, don't just do it, please. You know, I don't sell shoes, and I never will. But if I did, the slogan would be, "Just stop and think for a second before you act. Please, for the love of God, stop, think." Like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, stop ruining everything, please, for the love of God. Just fucking stop. Don't do it. Like, don't just do it. You fucking, you know, idiots. You know, you hateful idiots. So fuck Nike, obviously. I mean, that's not a hot take, like I say. But yeah, Nada Gordon knows what I'm talking about, I guess. I'll bring it back to her. I'm going to try to do a review of her poetry books that I just got in the mail, and they're incredible, but I haven't read all of them yet, so I want to wait until I've read all of the books, of course, to comment, because it's going to be an incredible experience, I know, to read these two books that I just got of hers. Anyway, don't just do it. Please stop. Please think. Watch Angela Collier or Collier. I don't know how she pronounces it, but her name's Angela Collier. She's an astrophysicist. She has a YouTube channel. Her channel is so good that it's actually therapy. Like, I watch it as therapy. I started watching it for physics educational reasons, like just to learn about physics. And I did, and I still do. But it's so good that it's actually therapy. And her catchphrase, which is hilarious, her catchphrase is, "It's fine. It's fine." And she's usually saying it's fine with regards to something that's actually hellaciously fucked. Like, it's not fine at all. But her point is, it's pointless to drive yourself insane over certain things that she knows as an astrophysicist. Like, she's extremely intelligent, extremely educated, extremely informed, and not affected by pretentious bullshit, right? She knows, when she says it's fine, she knows that there's nothing you can do about this at an individual level. Like, don't fool yourself into thinking you can solve this problem easily. It's fine. Just let it go, right? So in the case of just do it, it's fine. Like, you're all gonna just do it, right? And by it means, like, go extinct in the worst possible way. We're all gonna just do it. We're all just gonna go extinct in the worst possible way, and we're not gonna stop to think about it. We're just gonna do it, right? So